Hello fellow travelers, my name's SG and welcome to the channel. Sorry about last week, but I got sick, but I'm feeling far much better this week and am ready to continue on with Dante. And of course our regular video on Wednesday, so be ready for that. Last time we saw Dante and Virgil, they were contacting the spirit of fraud, which is a serpent-like creature, and we're asking it to get them to the 8th level. And yeah, we're continuing on from there. There is a place in hell called Malbolg, wholly of stone and of an iron color, as is the circle that around it turns. Right in the middle of the field mound, there yawns a well exceeding wide and deep, of which its place in the structure will recount. Round then is that enclosure which remains, between the well and foot of the high, hard bank, and has distinct in valleys tends its bottom, as where from the protection of the walls many and many moats surround the castles, the part in which they are of figure forms. Just such an image those presented there, and as about such strongholds from their gates unto the outer bank are little bridges. So from the precipices baits did crags project, which intersected dikes and moats unto the well that transgates and collects them. Within this place, downshaken from the back of Garon, we found us, and the poet held to the left, and I moved on behind. Upon my right hand I beheld new anguish, new torments, and new wielders of the lash, wherewithin the foremost Bolgia was replete. Down at the bottom were the sinners naked. This side the middle came they facing us, beyond it with us, but with greater steps. Even as the Romans, for the mighty host, the year of Jubilee, upon the bridge, have chosen a mode to pass the people over. For all upon one side down towards the castle, their faces have, and go on to St. Peter's. On the other side they go towards the mountain. This side and that, along the vivid stone, beheld a honed demon with great scourges, who cruelly were beating them behind. Ah me, how they did make them lift their legs at the first blows, and soothed not any one the second waited for, nor for the third. While I was going on, mine eyes by one encountered were, and straight I said, already with sight on this one, I am not unfed. Therefore I stayed my feet to make him out, and with me the sweet guide came to a stand, and to my going somewhat back assented. And he, the scourged one, thought to hide himself, lowering his face, but little it availed him, for I said, thou that cast down thine eyes, if false are not the features which thou bearest, thou art Venedicio caca aminicio. But what doth bring thee to such pugnant sauces? And he to me, unwilling I tell it, but forces me thine attendance distinct, which makes me recollect the ancient world. I was one who fair Gisola induced to grant the wishes of the Marquise. However, in the shameless story may be told, not the sole Bolognesius am I who weeps here, nay, rather is this place too full of them, that not so many tongues today are taught. Twixt Renu and Savina to say Sipa, and if thereof thou wishest pledges or proof, bring to thy mind our efficacious heart. While speaking in this manner, with his scourge, a demon smote him, and said, get thee gone, Ponder, there are no women here for coin. I joined myself again unto mine escort. There afterward, with footsteps few, we came to where a crag projected from the bank. This very easily did we ascend, and turned into the right along its ridge. From those eternal circles we departed. When we were there, where it is hollowed out beneath, to give a passage to the scourged, the guide said, wait, and see that on thee strike the visions of those others evil born, of whom thou hast not yet beheld the faces, because together with us they have gone. From the old bridge we looked upon the train, which towards us came upon the other border, and which the scourges in like manner smite. And the good master, without my inquiring, said to me, See that tall one who is coming, and from the pain he seems not to shed a tear. Still what a royal aspect he retains, that Jason is, who by his heart and cunning the Colchians of the Ram made destitute. He by the Isle of Lemons passed along after the daring women pitiless had unto death devoted all their males. There was his token, and with ordinate words did he deceive Hephaestus, the maiden who first herself had all the rest deceived. There did he leave her pregnant and forlorn. Such sin unto such punishment condemns him, and also for Medea is vengeful. And also for Medea's is vengeance done. With him go those who in such wise deceive, and this sufficient be of the first valley, to know that those that in its jaws it holds. We were already where the narrow path crosses athwart the second dike, and forms of that abuttress for the another arch. Thence we heard a people who are making moan in the next Pelagia, snorting with their muzzles, and their palms beating upon themselves. The margins were encrusted with a mold by exhaustion from below. The sixth there, and with the eyes and nostrils wages war. The bottom is so deep, no place suffices to give us sight of it. Without ascending the arch's back, where most the crag impends. Thither we came, and thence down is the moat. I saw people smothered in a filth, that out of human privies seemed to flow. And whilst below, there with mine eyes I search, I saw one with his head so foul with odour, I was not clear if he were clerk or layman. He screamed to me, Wherefore art thou so eager to look at me more than the other foul ones? And I to him, Because if I remember, I have already seen thee with dry hair, and thou art Alcio, intermedi of Luca. Therefore I eye thee more than all others. And he thereon, balboring his pumpkin, The flutteries have submerged me here below, wherewith my tongue was never suffeated. Then said to me the guide, See that thou thrust thy visage somewhat farther in advance, that with thine eyes thou well the face attain. Of what unclearly and dish-veiled drab, who there doth scratch herself with filthy nails, and crouches not, and now on foot is standing. Dias the harlot is it, who replied upon thy paramour, when he said, Have I great gratitude for thee? Nay, marvellous, and wherewith let our sight be satisfied. Alright, now that we've read the chapter, let's talk about it, shall we? This one was a very slow one, because this is him more explaining what he's seeing in the lower levels of hell, in the 8th circle specifically. What he's seeing there as the torture is happening, being a little more brutal than the ones at the previous level, and that in this circle it seems to be more of flatterers and philanderers. This one seems to be their version of hell, what their punishment ultimately is, which is either being stuck in mud or being forced around by a giant demon-like creature. Dante has no beef in this situation, so he's just moving on and not really talking to anybody. He does recognize some people, but not enough to sit down and have a conversation with them like we have before. This is more him just describing what he's seen so far. A bit of unfortunate timing because this is so close to Valentine's Day, but that's what happens when you're reading a book like this, huh? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this chapter. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe down below if you did. Or come back for next week. We're going to be continuing it. We're almost done. I know we're just a few more chapters in. And yeah, if you want, come back this Wednesday too. We'll be doing our regular thing. You'll see what that's about. And yeah, see you guys next time.